All right. Good morning, Alter Realty Group's agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training Marketing here. And today we're going to talk about blog content. I know I beat this stuff into you guys, but this is really important and it's just a really good habit to get into. So we're going to go over it again. I think it always is worth repeating. Before I get too far into the presentation, I'm going to bring on Bill Seitz from Clearview Mortgage. Good morning, Bill. How are you today?
Good morning, Kevin. I'm doing great. Thank you.
All right, perfect. And I'm also going to bring on Cameron Alley from Clearview Mortgage as well. Good morning, Cameron. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Good morning.
Good. We are well. We're fired up for the webinar today. So I do have a couple things queued up for you guys. And Bill, let me know if you want to kind of do the Matt Ishbia thing first, or
yeah. Let's watch that, and then Cameron's going to do a nice little update for us on the back side of that. But let's watch this little 3-minute video. I think it's important time to time to hear what's going on from the top of the food chain in mortgage world.
Yeah.
And he did a nice little update real quick. So if you can put that on, it'd be great.
Yeah. And Bill, was this the week of May 24th update?
I think it was the first week of June, actually. I saw it come out yesterday.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that one. Or something happened with your link, but I was able to bring up all of the other ones. Here's the archive. That's weird. It was just coming up as the one from the 24th. Let's see if I can find the other one.
Is it dated from yesterday, my email?
I got your email, but unfortunately, yeah, it's weird. Their archive is not updated. Yeah, the link was not in your email, unfortunately.
Okay, well, let Cameron go ahead, and I'll try to find out why we're chatting about this stuff.
Yeah, sorry about that. I also want to. We've got a couple of new agents with us today, so welcome, new agents. We've got a brand new hire named Roger Kelly with us. So good morning, Roger. Glad to have you with us. I think he just signed up this morning, in fact. So, and we have a lot of our regulars, of course, also Trina Moore and Rhonda Butler, Randy Johnson, Paula Diaz, John and Jennifer Espinosa, a lot of the regulars on the line as well. So yeah, why don't you, I'm going to bring up a little graphic that I've got for you, Cameron, and you can give us a little update and kind of a synopsis of fun stuff that's been happening with Clearview Mortgage.
Yep, you got it, guys. So right now, good news for rates. Rates are kind of staying steady, about 1.6 on the 10-year. It's a little under that today. So we're still looking at like a 2.875, no points on a purchase right now with 20% down with decent credit. And, still like a 2.99 around at like your 5 to 10%. So rates are still really good. And wanted to talk about, I tend to touch on stuff every webinar as far as, what we have to offer at Clearview, but I never really get too deep into it. So I just wanted to get like a little summarization of the things that we can do that would separate us from maybe other lenders or even like lenders that your buyers might select previous to even coming to you. So one of the big things in this market that's really great is finding a way to get appraisal waivers on purchases. It's extremely important because it literally cuts, 7, 8, 10, 15 days off of the loan process. So one of the things that you can do when you're trying to get an appraisal waiver is you can throw in, shadow assets. You can kind of play with the down payment. You can look at different comps, and you can adjust certain items with the lender to get a Fannie or Freddie, appraisal waiver. And that's not necessarily something that everyone's doing, kind of playing with the numbers to get you that. So you could maybe not have an appraisal waiver with another lender and then still find a way to get one with us. So it kind of just takes some time that maybe someone else isn't really willing to put in. But those appraisal waivers are huge. Like, for example, we just had one agent with you guys that we did a purchase for, and it was clear to close in 3 days. And that's a lot of things that go into closing a purchase loan in 3 days. It's just kind of being ready and having everything you need for the submission. But that's absolutely, we were ready with the loan before escrow was even ready to send docs and everything. So it definitely helps kind of streamline the process for you guys. And it also helps knowing ahead of time before you even put in that offer that you can get an appraisal waiver on that one to make your offer more competitive. And another thing that I really want to touch on is that one of the biggest things that separates us is that we don't really have office hours like some of your banks or your retail lenders do. So, you have our cell phone, you can call us, text us, email us at any time. Doesn't matter, if it's 10, 11 p.m., I'm going to pick up the phone and be there for you guys. Because right now, you might have to write up an offer around that time. So we want to be readily available. And we also want to be available for your buyers because, a lot of times if you have a good buyer during the day, they're probably working. And sometimes that time doesn't really coincide with when those other lenders are available. So, that also helps quite a bit just, because we can hash out problems that might take 3 days to resolve with another lender in the matter of a couple hours, even after business hours. So, and then I talked a little bit about DU. Getting those DU findings for offers to make them more competitive or, more organized or more attractive to the seller's agent. So, if you're going to put in 2-3 offers, we can get, if we're already talking to your borrower and have everything that we need, we can get you multiple offers. It only takes a couple of minutes, multiple DU findings. And then we know, hey, which one has an appraisal waiver, which one doesn't have an appraisal waiver. What's the DTI on each one of these offers so that we can kind of figure out which one is the best. And also to just have, enough eggs in the basket that you're probably going to get one of those accepted. And then another important thing right now that is I think probably underlooked is calling sellers, like having the lenders call the seller's agents and talk about, the qualification and kind of sell them on that qualification. And that takes, someone who's enthusiastic with a proactive personality to help you hopefully get your offer accepted. So, we've had some success with that too. So, whole point of it is we're on the same team, and the thing that really we want to drive home here at Clearview is to help you guys grow. And if you grow, we'll grow. So, we always want to be available to you at any time. And as I always say, throw us a deal and you'll be really surprised at how fast we can get it done and how great of service we provide. And you'll be really happy. And I'm sure that we'll have a really successful, long-lasting relationship. So that's pretty much everything that I wanted to touch on today, unless you got anything to add, Bill.
Excellent summary, Cameron. I do have a quick question for you, knowing that you're like the appraisal waiver guru. How far are you seeing those go up to on the LTV? Like where have you got them pushed up to 95%, or where's the kind of the threshold where you see that kind of falling off?
I think the highest I've gotten is 90%, but
okay.
I mean, it's almost right now. If you're in the right neighborhood at 20%, you have a really good chance of getting an appraisal waiver. Above that, it's a little tougher. But that's why, I say, we can add assets. We can kind of play with the numbers in the actual underwriting system and figure out how we can get it, or, and of course it's not going to work out every time, but it's worth that 15, 20 minutes of fiddling around with the numbers to try and get one, because if I have to fiddle with it that much, that means that the other lender didn't, and they probably don't have an appraisal waiver. So it's going to separate your offer from the rest,
It is. That is probably one of the most important variables in this marketplace right now, because we all know that getting an appraisal in on time is hit or miss. We've seen them take a month to normal, to getting a rush and having it done quickly. But it's a really important point that Cameron brings up, because you have an incredible opportunity to get the deal and also to close on time. I think on this one, Cameron, you said you were ready to close in the first week of the escrow being opened, and escrow was like, wait, what? You guys are ready to close already? So
yeah, and that's what we want to do too, is we want to shock these buyers and borrowers with how well we can provide for them, so that they, send you business and they send me business, and it's just easy referral business. And then another thing too is you see that the one that's up now, that Harrison Bull one, that was a 7-day CTC, and that was with an appraisal. So that's, the appraiser going out, the appraiser putting back the report, simultaneously underwriting the loan, and still got a seven-day clear to close. Granted, that's a refi, but honestly, a purchase is almost easier to close than a refi sometimes. But yeah, just to point that out too, even if we need an appraisal, doesn't mean we can't close fast, because I pay for a rush on every appraisal right now.
Awesome, Cameron. And then for those of you that don't know where to find Cameron's info, you can always go to the Clearview Mortgage home page website and find our loan officers there. Cameron's information is there, his cell phone number, his email address. So if you, you're writing offers at 10 o'clock, you need someone to talk to, Cameron is your guy.
That's for sure. Here's Cameron's info right here. And of course, you can just go to cvmloans.com or even cameronalley.com and get all of his info. So, and Bill, were you able to find that fast break?
No, I'll just queue it up for next week. I'd rather talk about these types of successes and, than, Matt talks more macro about the market, what's happening with inventory, but we can review that next week. That's fine.
Okay, perfect. So just super quick, every transaction, is comprised of a team, and every transaction has a different team pretty much. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're isolating a few of the variables. And if you can have, Cameron on your side or any one of the guys from CVM on your side, that's going to increase your chances of having a good team. Okay, so we want to control those variables as much as possible. All right, great. Well, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate the insight there. Super important stuff. So let me get into our presentation today. Let me pull up a quick graphic and share it with you guys. So using content in order to further your business and even to, just make sure that you're top of mind with your clients is one of the most important things that you can do. We're all, of course, we're getting leads and referrals and all that kind of stuff, but staying in contact with our sphere of influence and people we've sold product or, homes to, or we've just been in contact with, maybe we never did get a sell or a sale with them, but we want to stay top of mind at all times. And so what we do is we provide blog content for you guys every month, about the first, second, third. Sometimes, if it's a weekend, I'll get it out on the 4th of the month. So it'll be a great piece. It always is. This month, I'll share this with you. This month is a great piece on wealth. How is your wealth? So let me share that with you really quick. So this is our current blog post. And so they're always, if you ever want to find our blogs, they're always in our arghome.net website. This is our corporate site. And we call our blog News and Insider Tips. So we click on News and Insider Tips, and you can see all of the different blog posts that we've had over several years. And you guys are always welcome to use these in your communications with your clients. And so there's a very specific way that I think that this should be done. So first of all, it starts with putting this information on your blog. So let's literally do that. That's step one in our little, my checklist here. Let me pull that checklist up again real quick. So step one is, and these are kind of step zeros. Everybody on this call, I think, has probably got most of the stuff set up. Setting up your agent marketing site, getting your social media profile set up, gathering your contacts, and making sure everything's in your CRM. With the agent marketing system, everybody has access to a great CRM. And so those are kind of the setups. Get everything set up. You've got to have your CRM. You've got to have your social media, and you have to have your website. So once you have all those things set up, then we're ready to enact, and we're ready to use this stuff in order to stay in contact with our clients. So let me go and we'll show you exactly mechanically how we do that. And I'm going to use one of our agents as a guinea pig. So literally, I'm going to go step by step. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to use Joanna Bilicana, one of our agents out in the desert. And because I know that she hasn't done her blog yet. So I'm going to go to blogging. I'm going to add a new one. And I'm going to put the title here. I'm going to go back to the arghome.net site, and I'm going to highlight the entire blog post now, the text of the blog post. Gather all that, right click, copy, take it over to my agent marketing blog post, and I'm going to paste. And Control V is how we paste into the agent marketing system. So now I've got all of my content in here. Now we also have the ability to select an image. So I'm going to select an image. You can select, a standard image, but with the agent marketing system, we always give you a nice graphic like this. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to take this graphic, you're going to right click the graphic, and you're going to save the image. You're going to save it as, and I'll just put it on the desktop for ease. So I know exactly where to find it. And it's super easy. Put it on the desktop, save it. Now I go back to my blog post and I go to my file locker where we can select that image and we can upload it into our agent marketing system. I go to my desktop again and I grab that particular file. And of course you can, organize your files in a million different ways. Let me do this. Oh, it doesn't like the file type. One sec. JPEG. All right, so I have my little file, and in the agent marketing system, we just copy that URL and we take it back to our blog post and we just paste it right here. So now I've got a nice little image. This is kind of like a market analysis. That's just a little category. So we set the category, and what we can also do is they give us an opportunity to give like a little 200 character synopsis of what this is going to be about. So I just put a little bit of the first line into that little spot. Then we go over here, we click save, and the next step is just to publish it. Publish it. Today's date is great. We'll use the 2nd. And now that's published. So now we can view it. So this is all step 1. So we've created this nice blog post. It looks great. It reads really well. And it's a really great talking point. So anytime that we're creating these blog posts, we just want to have something to talk about, right? We want to be able to contact our clients and say, hey, did you see the info I sent you? Or, hey, I'm about to send you a really nice article on how rising home prices might affect your net worth. And this is especially germane to people that you've sold homes to in the past, right? So that's step 1. Get the blog post into your agent marketing system. Step 2 is now we're going to share that blog post with a lot of different places, right? So I don't know what's going on with my graphic here, but it's kind of freaked out. So anyway, second step would be to take that particular blog post that we just created, and we're going to share that on social media. So when you create this blog post, you've got a nice URL, right? So we can take that, we can copy it, we can take it into social media, and we can go ahead and we can create a post, right? So that's a really good idea. Taking it and posting it to Facebook. Instagram will be a little bit different. you'll just reference that is on your blog post, because you can't include a link, of course. And then you could use that same image that we created, and you can, we actually do have a different image for Instagram that's a little bit more vertical, but you can send this image into your Instagram feed. You can also use Pinterest, and I also recommend LinkedIn. So those would be the 4 kind of main places that you want to take that information and post it. So the next thing you want to do is you can take that information and you can create a short video. And it would just literally be a 10 or 20-second video of you giving a brief synopsis of what this is about. So you can also post that to social media. So those are really good ways to just, kind of get this information out there, kind of to everybody. And it's not a bad idea to boost those posts or do some advertising, some Facebook advertising with that post. Get that out there. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make a specific follow-up for each person that's in your database. And, if you have a massive database, you're going to want to break it up into 4 groups, 3 groups, whatever it is, and say, I'm going to make phone calls for this group this month. I'm going to make phone calls for this group next month. And so, of course, the way you want to individually follow up with each of the people in your database is email, social media, even like Messenger, text, or phone calls. So those are the main things. You want to be touching these people at least once a month with a blog post, social media, video. You want to get this information out there. And when we're doing that, we're staying way top of mind. So let me just share, this is an example of a calendar of events, of exactly what you should do and when. So say tomorrow, we're going to publish that post, right? Then next week, we're going to go and we're going to make sure that we have everything updated in our database. And this is a good just monthly thing that everybody should do. Make sure that the database is updated. There's always new people that you meet throughout the month. You might have a piece of paper written down. You might have a business card. So take that information, put it into your CRM. Super important. Then you should make that little video. So on the Monday of the following week, make that video about what that topic is. On the Tuesday, email everybody. Put it into your monthly newsletter and email it out. And post those to Facebook and run a little Facebook ad or even a YouTube ad because it's a video. Then you want to send out, say the next day, start sending out individual messages, okay? Start getting those things out there. You can make a little animated video. You can make all kinds of cool stuff to, attract people to this content. And then by about the 9th of the week, you should be able to start going out and asking people if they got that information and if you could explain it to them, if you could help them out. One thing that's really cool is we have access to, let me pull this up, a PDF that has let me just grab this real quick. So this PDF has a worksheet. So this is the same blog post content, but at the bottom in the second sheet has a net worth worksheet. So you can send people individually while you're talking to them and say, hey, by the way, I have a really cool net worth worksheet that I can send you. Figure out what your net worth is, right? It's something I like to do about once a year. I like to make sure I know what my net worth is. I thought you might, find this interesting, right? So you are able to send this nice little net worth worksheet to them as a follow-up. So don't send this out before you talk to anybody, because this is kind of like, oh, as you're talking to someone, we need reasons to talk to people. We need reasons to pick up the phone and call people. We don't want to just call people once a month and say, you want to buy or sell something? That doesn't work. We have to be able to provide value throughout, the time that they know who we are and they need our services. We just have to provide tons of value as we go. So this is a really cool way to do that. So again, I will make all of this information available to you guys. A few of these collateral materials, just email me or text me and say, hey, I need the net worth worksheet, or I need, whatever you need, I'm going to include most of this information in the replay when I send it out. So no excuses. You guys know exactly what to do. You can, create this great content piece, go out, make sure everybody has it, make sure they know you're doing business and you're a professional and you're willing and able to provide things of value for free before they, make a purchase or they, need your services. So, Bill, before I have any other takeaways here, any takeaways that you have from this system and what to do on a monthly basis?
No, I think you covered it pretty well. I think that just once your infrastructure is in place, it's not as daunting, or it's not as as large of a of a task as it may seem initially. Because once you have all the infrastructure in place, it's pretty easy to push this stuff out. And content is king. So like that little article that you had up there, just rising home prices affect your net worth. Like for me, I would spend a couple minutes reading that really quick and running through it, and just to see if there's something in there that I find of value, So I think that, when you are pushing things out, you do want to have good trigger headlines, and the content is what is going to draw your audience in, and then they're going to associate that with who sent it out. So if it's Rhonda Butler and she's sending this out to her sphere of influence or her contacts, well, then the receiver of the blog, or they're going to associate this great content with Rhonda Butler and that she's a real estate expert. So it all ties back to building your brand as an expert in the field of real estate, and providing good quality content, right? It's always content driven at this point in the digital world. So that's super important. And if you can just get on a regular habit of doing it, I do push out something, like this every week. For the most part, I've missed a couple weeks. I'll have to be truthful and honest when I get late in the day on Friday and I haven't done it yet. But I actually set my alarm on a Wednesday. So I try to get it done before Friday, and I send it out, mine goes out on Friday, but I actually try to get it done on Wednesday. I actually have a little alarm in my Outlook or whatever, and it says, okay, do your weekly update. And a weekly update may be a little bit, maybe you guys, determine, hey, I don't want to do that frequently. But, for me and just being in the finance side of it, I like to kind of be there every week. And, it's up to you guys to decide what interval you want to do it at, but I'd say minimum once a month.
Right. Exactly. And so this system's kind of set up for once a month, of course, but I don't want you guys to think that this is the only thing that you should use, right? This is great blog information. I always have, one a month, but there are also just, infinite supplies of places that you can get good articles. You can share good articles. You can say, hey, I found this really, that's called curation, is finding somebody else's article and say, hey, client, I found this really, really insightful. I thought you might be interested, and send that out. So this is just one thing that I encourage you guys to use once a month, but throughout the month, you find something good, push that out as well. And, maybe you have a client that's has a specific interest, or you have a connection with them in a certain way, and you can send them a specific thing, a specific article, even like Bill, talks about sports a lot. Maybe you have a client that's into sports. Hey, I found this great article about the Yankees, or whatever it is. Here you go. Right. They're just reasons to say hi and to stay top of mind. That's the biggest thing here, staying top of mind. Nobody cares about a real estate agent until you need one. So you got to be the little squeaky wheel, like our friend David Solomon and his mom up in the Bay Area, or in the South Bay. Those guys, they put out great email content all the time, at least once a month, and it looks good. And they remind me that they're still up there doing business. I don't see David Solomon ever, but I get his emails, right?
100%, Kevin. And I think too, it doesn't always have to be real estate related. Nope. I think if there's a new restaurant coming into town, if there's a festival, or there's something, actually sometimes it's better not to have real estate as the only, It's it's, you want to mix it up. You don't want to be, just talking about statistics and market and trends and all that stuff, and not show that you have a broader spectrum of life. But it's informative when you can, oh, there's the new the new steakhouse coming down the street, or we've got this music festival coming to town now that COVID restrictions are lifting and people are getting to doing something at the park or whatever it is. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So you just always want to add a human element. Really goes a long way. You're not a computer. You're not a robot. You're a real person. Real quick, new agent Roger has a quick question about the appraisal waiver. So he's asked, does the appraisal waiver take into account over listing price offers?
Well, basically, it just comes down to the loan to value. So if you submit an offer that's over asking, or you come over it, and the buyer is going to bridge that gap and then still have their their 20%, you can still get the appraisal waiver. So that doesn't matter if you go over, as long as, like Cameron said, he's usually getting them at 20%, right? But as you inch up over that, you get into it gets to play with it a little bit more. And that he said 90% is pretty much the threshold where you're not going to get it.
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah. Right, so so for example, if the 500,000 where you think the value is, the buyer wants to pay 550, but they're going to finance 400. So now they're bringing the 20% from the 500. Plus they're bridging that extra 50 grand from the 5 to 550. So they're bringing in 150, but now they're at 80% on that estimated value. You're probably going to get the waiver. Yeah,
that makes sense. All right, good. Well, I hope that, Roger says thank you. I was going to say, I hope that answers your question, Roger. And Roger, I really, really am excited to work with you, and welcome to the ARG family.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Also, Kevin, I wanted to also find out, when are we bringing Lauren back on? Because I thought she did obviously an amazing job. I know a lot of the agents want to hear more about contractual stuff and disclosures. So I don't know if she's available maybe next week or the following week.
Yeah, but I've got her. I've got her slated for the following week. Next week, we're going to have Adam Cleary from Ticor join us.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but absolutely, Lauren will be coming back. She's amazing. As you guys know, she's our go-to transaction coordinator now. If you need her information, you can contact us. We will be updating the website and the the agent resource center to make sure that her information is included there. And she is definitely a pro. She can help you guys a lot.
Yeah, she's with TC Advantage.
Correct.
So if you guys have any questions or not sure where to find her, it's tcadvantage.com. I'm actually currently utilizing her suite of services to put my money where my mouth is. I've been very, very impressed with their organization and just how thorough they are with their oversight on the file, and also getting the disclosures out in a timely fashion to the other party. So I encourage you guys to give them a try.
Absolutely. And then one last quick question from Rhonda Butler. With the appraisal waiver, is it safe to remove the appraisal contingency when writing the offer?
Yeah, I think you're good there, Rhonda. And I think, as always, whoever's helping you with your loan, if Jan's helping you out, or Cameron or myself, just run it by us real quick, just so we'll give you the thumbs up. But that's a great question, and I think most times you're going to be good. You're going to be good.
All right, perfect. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us on the webinar. Really appreciate you guys spending the time, and we look forward to having you guys on the webinar next week with Adam Cleary from Ticor. All right, guys, make it a great week, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.